Hello guys, this playlist will be totally dedicated to Python and MySQL, which means we will create a bunch of Python scripts that will get into MySQL server so we can do specific job there. Like we can create databases, drop them, we can create tables, insert new values into rows and stuff like that. You know, the normal stuff that you're going to do into MySQL terminal client, right? But we are going to do that through Python. That being said, what about people who think that they don't have enough MySQL or Python knowledge? Don't worry about that, guys, because if you're persistent enough, you will handle any kind of situation. And on my channel, you have dedicated playlist for Python and dedicated playlist for MySQL, of course. So don't worry about that. Okay. So what about MySQL server on your machine? Well, I'm absolutely sure that majority of you guys know how to turn your machine into MySQL server, but for the people who are like beginners, absolute beginners, yes, I do have dedicated video how to do that. Well, at least on Windows, but if you are on Linux or BSD systems, I don't have doubts that you know what you're doing. So yes, I do have a video which is well visited, I think, in the last 5 months, because my channel is not that big, so it's kind of success. And here's the thing: when you install dedicated MySQL server on your machine, you must absolutely set root password, okay? But for other like options that you have, like XAMPP or EasyPHP dev server, you don't need to set password for root account, because it will be basically blank, non-existent. So just pay attention about that when you write connecting parameters in your script. Don't worry about that, we are going to talk about that more. Right, so my advice, if you want a 3-in-1 solution or multiple solutions on your machine, just grab XAMPP and you will be fine. You will turn your machine not just into MySQL server, you will also have PHP, Perl, and of course Apache. So your machine will be web server and MySQL server. Same stuff with EasyPHP. See here you have PHP, Apache, MySQL and so on, bunch of options. It's free for development purposes, is no worries about that. But my best advice is to always, if you're a beginner, grab dedicated MySQL server installer from official website. Why official website? I always say that because of security reasons. You don't want to grab, you know, things from FTP servers or from torrents, because you will end up with Trojan horses, malware and stuff like that. So always grab official big, you know, applications, important programming stuff from official websites. In this case, just type on Google MySQL community downloads, and it depends what kind of system you will have, you will probably end up on this page. Yeah, for a Windows installer, it's around 400 megabytes, nothing special. And just remember, when you are installing it, definitely set root password for it. Right, when we are done with that, well, what about running that thing on our system? I mean, once when we have it, how to run it if we are on Windows, for example? Well, the thing is very easy. If you have installed your MySQL server like to be run as a Windows service, then you can go, where is that thing? Just a second. You can go to Windows Services. Let me grab that from another monitor. Go to this listing, find MySQL 80 probably, and in my case I can run it manually, so I'm going to right click and start, and everything will be fine after a couple of seconds. So this is how you run it through Windows Services. There we go. Here we are running that thing. So we must confirm that thing. Is it working? Okay, so let's do that. Just go to your start menu and find MySQL terminal client, or grab that icon and put it on a desktop, whatever. In my case, it's on desktop. MySQL command line client. I'm going to double click it, and as I said, a password for root account must be set. So in my case, it's ultra secure 12345. Never use this thing in production. I'm just practicing around, messing around, recording videos. Don't worry. about stupid password. As I said, it's ultra secure. Anyway, press enter and we are in. Right, so let's confirm that not just that we are in, we can also issue commands. So always use uppercases here for MySQL commands. It's kind of standard in programming. Show databases, use semicolon at the end, and here we are, everything is working. These 4 databases here are default, and corp is my database. Anyway, that's not important. We are going to work on that more. So the question is how to get into MySQL server through Python. Well, the thing is that we need to have MySQL connector installed. And so think about this as a driver. You know, when you put a new graphical card into your machine, you need to install driver. Well, same stuff pretty much here. I mean, at least analogy is if you want to work with MySQL server, you need to grab Python connector for MySQL server. No, you don't need to grab it from here. Because if you have, you know, pip installed with Python, you have that option when you are installing Python, of course. Just type pip install MySQL connector Python, and that's it, guys. So the same line here, same name is from here. So that's it, and you're pretty much done. So let me confirm that. I'm gonna press enter here to see what's up. I already have that thing, then I deleted it. So yeah, requirements already satisfied in my case. Okay, so we are kind of cool. Don't worry about pip version. I don't care which version is operational right now. Anyway, let's write our own first custom Python script so we can get into our server and do stuff there. Right, so first we need to import our module, which will be like import MySQL dot, don't forget dot, connector, and you don't need to have this thing here and Python. No, this is just like this is when you're installing module, but when you are using it, dot in between and no Python at the right side. Right, so let me confirm that immediately with F5. No problems here, which means everything is fine with module. Okay, so what about connections and your connection to MySQL server? Just connection. Well, if you have knowledge of PHP here, you definitely know what I'm going to type here. So we're going, for example, to call our connection con, something like that. Then we are stating that from MySQL connector, we are using connect. And now we need to provide here specific connection parameters. Well, what is a host? Because we are on localhost, of course, localhost, and if you are accessing a remote machine, of course, IP or domain. But don't mess around with your real machines, like if you have hosting, because it's easier to work in a localhost. If you mess something up, it's faster, I think, than to go into control panel of your hosting company, to change things there, to check something with phpMyAdmin and stuff, or stuff like that. So yeah, just practice with your localhost. And in my case, user is root, maybe your, you know, account setup is different, I don't know, and password. So you need to type this, password. Yeah, type password and not password fully. Right, in my case it is 1 2 3 4 5, and yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Now let me press F5 to confirm that everything is fine. There you go, no errors. Okay, so we have connection, but it is not just enough to have a connection to server. You actually need to have a way to like state commands. So see this cursor blinking here in a command line client? Well, we actually have that thing in Python scripts. So we will always work in Python with this cursor, which will be in Python. Let me type that. So it's like virtual cursor. So let's create it. I'm gonna call it cur or something like that, C1, I don't know, who cares. And then we are targeting this specific connection, and then we are stating cursor. Okay, And guys, that's pretty much it. Now when you have this line, that means in Python you have this blinking thing. So why is that important? Because when you issue specific commands, you can target that cursor to see what is happening, what happened before, let's say. Because see, we have happening and then again we have a cursor. So same stuff here, okay? So question is, what's gonna happen if I print this cursor? Can I kind of do that? Well, print, we are going to just say print cursor and we will have result. Nothing executed yet because definitely we don't have any kind of requests to server. But still, this is result from this operation. Well, this cursor, what that thing is? Well, if we are going to type here, what that thing is, this, it's a class basically. Well, let's use the term class. MySQL cursor class. Right, but this is just theoretical stuff. So how we are going to issue specific commands? How we are going through Python say show databases? Okay, let me see what I can do. We'll say cursor, we will target cursor, and now we will use execute method here, or function, call it whatever you like. Execute. So as you see, a lot of similarities with Python. With PHP, actually with all other programming languages, because MySQL connection is just at the end of the day MySQL connection. Right. So what I was typing here, show databases. Okay, let's do that. We are going to say show uppercases, of course. I mean, you can use lowercases, but you know, it's a standard to use uppercases. And please note, you don't need to use semicolons here because this is not MySQL terminal. This is a terminal and you need to have end of instruction here with semicolon, but this is a Python and Python doesn't need, in this case, semicolon on this line. Right, I know that people from C++ and PHP will be a little bit puzzled with this, but you know, that's life. Anyway, let me run this stuff. F5, nothing happens. Well, actually it does happen, but you don't see results because this is executed, but you're not grabbing results of what's happening before cursor now. Because just think that you have another cursor blinking here which is blank. Okay, but now we need to grab this stuff. So how we are going to do that? Some people will say, okay, just type results here and just put results of this here, and then you can say like for x in results, you can just say print x with the for loop. So what's gonna happen is, well, problem. What you need to do is just have this operation individually, like totally individually. You don't need to put it somewhere. You don't. Okay, remember this is cursor. This is not like variable, classical Python variable. And now let's target cursor here. Okay, and now we will get those results. F5, and there you go, guys. You have whatever I have in a terminal, you have in a Python. And this video is almost 40 minutes long, so definitely I need to shut up. And in the next tutorial, we are going to work with specific database, for example this corp database. And to do that, you don't need to state like use corp here, just add another thing here like database equals corp in my case. Okay, if you have some other database in your case, then of course type that here if you're practicing, if you have something from before from your work. And now this thing will work, but we need to execute another command which will be select all or select tables. Show tables. Show tables, just to see what I have in a corp. And this will not change because we are targeting cursor. F5, there you go, guys. These are my tables in cursor database. I have some documents, internal control, some prices higher than $100, and stores in different cities. And actually, if you go to, of course, this is my system, so I need to go in my terminal. Right, if I type like a show, use corp here, use corp, I'm in my corp database, and when I say show tables, I will get absolutely same result. So everything works. Here we are, guys, okay? Absolutely same stuff. So the bottom line here is, if you're targeting specific database that you already have, just stay that right here and you're good to go. Okay, 15 minutes. Long tutorial. I need to shut up and render this video. Thank you for watching, guys, and see you next tutorial where we will proceed with this MySQL dedicated playlist. And of course, subscribe if you can. If you like something, then press that, how to say this in English, thumbs up, right? Thumbs up, yeah, something like that. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you next one.